The happiest couples I know are keeping a money secret from each other, on purpose, and it's making them stronger. I know how that sounds. Every relationship expert on earth says the same thing. Total transparency, share everything, no secrets, one big joint account. Amen. And if you're already picturing hidden credit cards and lies, hang on, because that's not what this is. That's the thing that destroys couples, and we'll get to it. I'm talking about something completely different. A specific, healthy kind of money that the strongest couples deliberately keep out of the shared spotlight. And there's a reason therapists quietly recommend it, even though it sounds like the opposite of romance. Here's the twist that took me years to understand. The couples who share literally every dollar and approve every single purchase together aren't the closest ones. They're often the most resentful. And by the end of this, you'll understand exactly why a little bit of financial privacy might be the most honest thing you can give your relationship. There's a right way and a very wrong way to do this. Let me show you both. Let's start with the advice everyone gives because it comes from a good place. Merge everything. One account. Full transparency. You're a team now. No yours, no mine, just ours. It sounds beautiful. It sounds like trust. And for the big stuff, it is right. Rent, savings, the future. That should absolutely be shared and visible. No argument. But here's what happens when you merge everything, right down to the last dollar. Suddenly, every purchase becomes a group project. You want to buy a $12 book. It shows up on the shared account. Your partner sees it. Maybe they say nothing, but you felt them see it. So next time, you hesitate. That hesitation is the trap. When every dollar is visible, every dollar becomes a question you have to be ready to answer. Why'd you buy that? Doesn't even have to be said. You start pre-answering it in your own head. You become an accountant, reporting to a board. In your own marriage. That's not closeness. That's surveillance, wearing closeness as a costume. And it slowly turns two partners into an auditor and a suspect. But how does that quietly wreck a relationship? The damage is sneakier than a fight. I'll come back to it. All right, let me tell you what the smart couples are actually doing, because it's not a secret account and it's not a lie. It has a boring name that ruins the drama. It's called a personal allowance. Here's the setup. Shared money handles shared life. Bills, savings, goals, all of it. Fully visible, fully joint. Then each partner takes a set amount every month that is theirs. No approval needed. No explanation required. No reporting back. That's the secret. Not hidden money. Unmonitored money. Money you don't have to justify. Your partner knows the allowance exists. They know the amount. What they don't track is what you do with it. You want to blow yours on a ridiculous hobby, a gift, 40 coffees, a video game you'll play twice. Not their business. And their allowance isn't yours. See the difference? A secret account is hiding that money exists. An allowance is agreeing, out loud, that some money doesn't need a play-by-play. One is deception. The other is designed, agreed-upon privacy. Total opposites. Even though a clickbait title would call them the same thing. So the secret isn't the money. The secret is the freedom. A small, protected space where you get to be a person, not a line item. And that freedom does something to a relationship that full transparency actually can't. Here's what. Time to pay off that loop from the top. How does total transparency quietly do damage? It kills something couples need and never name: autonomy. The feeling that you're still your own person, not just half of a merged financial blob. Think about it like oxygen in a room. A little space, a little air, and everyone breathes easy. Seal the room completely. Total transparency. Every dollar shared, every purchase seen. And it gets stuffy fast. Nobody's doing anything wrong. There's just no air. And people who can't breathe start to resent the room, even if they love the person in it. The personal allowance cracks a window. It says, "I trust you enough to not need the receipt." And weirdly, that trust is more intimate than watching every transaction. Surveillance isn't trust. Surveillance is what you do because you don't trust. Handing someone freedom, that's the actual trust. There's a bonus too, and it's pure gold for arguments. You know the fight about you spend too much on dumb stuff? With allowances, it evaporates. It's their allowance. They can do whatever they want with it. The single most common money fight in relationships just disappears because you fenced off the exact thing couples fight about most. But here's where people get nervous. And they're right to. Because there's a version of keeping money separate that isn't freedom at all. It's the thing that ends marriages. And the line between the two is one you cannot afford to blur. Let's be very clear, because this is the whole ballgame. There's healthy privacy and there's financial infidelity. They are not cousins. They're not on a spectrum. They're opposites. Financial infidelity is hiding things that affect the team. A secret credit card racking up debt your partner will be on the hook for. A gambling problem buried in a hidden account. Lying about income. Draining shared savings and covering it up. That's not autonomy. That's betrayal with a spreadsheet. It breaks marriages, and it should. The test is dead simple, so remember it. Does the other person know this money exists? And did you both agree on it out loud? If yes, it's an allowance. It's healthy. It's the window cracked open. Your partner knows the amount, agreed to the setup, and simply doesn't audit the spending. Transparent about the what, private about the details. If you're hiding the existence of money, or hiding debt, or lying about it, that's not a personal allowance. That's a secret. And secrets in a marriage are a slow poison, every single time, no exceptions. So the secret in the title? It was never about hiding anything from your partner. It's about the two of you agreeing to give each other a little privacy, on purpose. The healthiest version of this is the least secretive thing you'll ever do. You literally have to talk about it openly to set it up. Which brings us to the conversation. Okay, practical. How do you do this without it sounding like, "Honey, I'd like some money you're not allowed to ask about"? Step 1. Frame it as for both of you, because it is. You're not carving out an escape hatch. You're building matching windows. Let's each get a personal amount we don't have to explain, so we can both stop feeling watched over small stuff. Nobody argues with that, because everybody's felt watched. Step 2. Pick a number you can both afford and make it equal. If one of you earns more, the allowances can scale, but the principle is the same. You both get real, no questions, freedom. Same air in the room. Step 3, and this is the discipline part. You actually don't ask. When your partner's allowance buys something you think is silly, you say nothing. That's the deal. The whole magic of the allowance dies the second you start policing it. If you can't resist commenting, the problem was never the money. Step 4, keep the big stuff loud. Everything that touches the team. Big purchases, debt, income, the shared future, stays fully transparent. The allowance is a small fenced garden inside a wide-open field. The field is still the point. The garden just keeps you sane. That's it. Shared life, shared and visible. Personal freedom, protected and quiet. One conversation to set up. So, the happiest couples, keeping a money secret from each other. Now you know the secret was never a lie. It's a personal allowance. Money you both agreed to stop auditing, so you each get to stay a whole person inside the partnership. The couples who share every dollar and approve every purchase weren't closer. They'd just sealed the room and forgotten to leave any air. Real transparency isn't watching every transaction your partner makes. That's surveillance. And surveillance is just distrust with good manners. Real transparency is agreeing, out loud, on exactly where the privacy lives, and then honoring it, Hide the existence of money, and you're poisoning the thing. Agree on a little freedom, and you're protecting it. Same word, secret. Completely different marriage. Crack the window. Trust each other enough to skip the receipt. That's how the money and the love start to make sense.